And let us now, as we align ourselves with divine sacred energies that have already started to pour in, by the very intention of you choosing to be here, to assist in anchoring light to this sacred planet, in the remembering of your cosmic mission, your agreements, your partnerships, and the unification of the soul tribe who have made an agreement to come together, to have those triggers where we were able to recognize one another, no matter where we are, or in what form we have come in, or in what way that we have. We come together as the family of light. And as we have become more anchored in the higher parts of ourselves, that we truly are that divine bridge that brings in the higher heavenly worlds more directly, more fully into this physical matter of not only our own physical, mental, and emotional bodies, but that of the sacred earth. And with that now, I invite everybody to simply breathe this sacred breath. For each holy and sacred breath that we breathe, the sacred in-breath and out-breath, it is the remembering that we breathe the breath of Brahma. We breathe the breath of the divine. And simply that one thought, that one remembering brings us into alignment with the higher parts of ourselves and our sacred and divine connection to our eternal Father, eternal Mother, the limitless light, the source of all creations, which is anchored in unconditional love. Its nature is love. And it is that we seek within ourselves and we seek within others. And it is in this most holy, sacred ground we find ourselves, in this sacred connection of hearts and minds, and that we, on a soul level, recognize one another, for we are here for the same purpose, the same calling, the same service, the same mission. And we realize that when we come together and combine our individual lights, when we create a sacred singularity of mission, purpose, and service, it is boundless, unshakable, and uncontainable. And so we continue to breathe this sacred, blessed breath that unites us and connects us with all creation in all expressions of the divine. And a sacred and holy grace, a great pouring of liquid light coming from the upper worlds, coming from the highest celestial realms of light. It is the cosmic water of life, the cosmic waters of creation, the cosmic water of eternal Father, eternal Mother, and the divine creations of that source throughout all creations, all worlds, all heavens, all time matrices. And we simply take these few moments now simply to recognize the unshakable peace that now comes in through this cosmic water of light that pours from the highest parts of ourselves straight through the Antakarana that moves into our physical, mental, and emotional bodies, that holds the entire chakra system, the interconnection of the electrical system and the electromagnetic fields of our own presence. And what it is, beloveds, is the expansion of our own grid matrix network, becoming more interconnected and grounded into the higher grid works of which we are a part. And with each and every holy, sacred in-breath and out-breath, these sacred higher grids of light that become more present, anchored, and available as this sacred grace continues to flow in. It is as if it is the cosmic waters of the upper worlds that come and dissolve and clean and clear any blockages, disconnections, misconnections, miscreations, distortions, all being dissolved and moved away as this sacred grace pours in with mission and purpose. It is a consciousness organic and purposeful from the higher realms of light of which we are connected. Those higher parts of ourselves, along with the higher family of light, into the sacred realms, invisible to us, but yet connected to us. That we, as we become more interconnected through sacred grace and higher service, and are striving to do what it is that we came here to do in our pure, unadulterated love of God and the divine, has brought forth this sacred grace, has brought forth the grace of past timelines and karmic blockages to be removed, to be cleared. And now a clearer availability of contact and interconnection, illumination and sacred grace, higher wisdom and higher vision, more clear, available, and accessible. And simply breathe, remembering your cosmic origins, remembering you are a creation of unconditional love. And your sacred lineage is that of the eternal Father, the eternal Mother, that of the limitless light. And in this liquid cosmic outpouring of this sacred divine grace, co-created by the intention of higher service and love of the divine, comes with it the great crown of light, the sacred Christ consciousness of the cosmic Christ, the great divine sacred Maitreya, and all the illuminaries of all traditions coming here in this one point, brought forth by the sincere desire to serve out of love the divine, the source of all creation. And so this flow, this cosmic water that continues to flow in from the upper world, moves into the grid systems, into your own sacred grid, individually and collectively, moving through interdimensional spaces that brings forth a great clearing and a great healing and a great balancing. Because the interconnections and roots of these blockages, of these disconnections, of these imbalances, move and are integrated into a much larger, profound cosmic story. But beloveds, your searching, your striving brings you more into the activation, into the realization, into the no longer doubting of your cosmic origins, and to make way clear now, more directly, more profoundly, those answers that you seek, those memories to be restored, to come back online for your retrieval. And beloveds, as these channels clear, as your own Antakarana channel from the highest parts of yourselves, running through your crown chakra, down through the spinal cord, and deep rooted into your sacred mother, the sacred earth, for you are connected to her as she is to you in the long cosmic story. And yes, even in the most times of challenges, there is a love affair with her and she with you. And as you open up for the love of your Earth Mother and the love of her for you, these channels of higher awareness, of the re-remembering, of your individual and collective cosmic story becomes more clear and revealed. And in this revelations will come to you those cosmic nuggets of triggering. We say to you, beloveds, as this divine cosmic grace flows in to your personal and collective grid, that as you strive and move into the higher parts of the grids of which you are a part, that you will once again be able to activate those parts that have been dormant, parts that have not had movement, but are now awakening, beloveds. And as you strive and make those adjustments and become acutely aware now of your environments, where not only do you rely on the physical senses, but on your higher grid senses of awareness. And it is through your striving, beloveds, through the higher heart of compassion, of caring that has brought you in this experience. But you have come with great spiritual tools. And those tools are now to be activated within you and around you. And as this sacred grace continues to flow in, as your commitment on your path becomes more accelerated, anchored, and reaching further into the brilliance of your own radiant light, we say to you, beloveds, that those parts of you that are powerful, that are knowing and wise, become online for your retrieval. You ask, how do I do this? You continue in your striving, in your walk upon your path of light, that you continue to move on and forward upon the narrow path, that you trust your own sensing, intuition, and feeling. Sense that, beloveds. Sense your own spiritual power, your own spiritual wisdom that comes online. Trust that. Trust the love of the divine that you have for that and that for you. Trust the great knowledge and wisdom of your own earth mother and how she now can communicate with you and you with her and all of her kingdoms as you move beyond the limitations of your physical sensing and knowing and focus more into the higher parts of your abilities, of your knowingness, of your sensing. And we say to you, beloveds, that you walk on this narrow path and be very aware, very intentional, that you trust the divine guidance that comes to you inexplicably, totally, and fully. For it is that that brings you through these times of great reckoning. And so we breathe together the sacred breath and simply allow the cosmic waters of the cosmic Christ, divine Maitreya, to continue to flow as a great river of light, moving into all the crevices, into all the parts of which you are connected and interconnected, and bringing forth a great alignment and flow of ease and grace, that you are transcendent to the limitations of a physical, mental, and emotional world. You are transcendent, walking the narrow path. You are transcendent in divine guidance, power, strength, and protection. And we acknowledge all the radiant ones who come here in such great numbers from the various streams of consciousness, all coming with purpose and mission of higher service, just as we. Simply bathe in this cosmic waters of renewal, strength, healing, and balance. Continually cleaning and clearing all impediments, all blockages, all distortions. And now, beloveds, as we are in our expanded crystalline grid of light, as we are interconnected and strongly anchored to the Christ cosmic grid and divine Maitreya, as our own individual grid system now interconnected with this group of light that we find ourselves, no matter where we are or what time this happens. The thought of the interconnection as a three-dimensional grid, as you would see great light sparking through these intersections of light, more brighter, more radiant, and more free-flowing. And we hold the grid of our own Earth Mother. And so we are the great pathways to the divine sacred crown of Kether, that we clean and clear the way for the sacred pathways of our great divine Earth Mother and all of her kingdoms, all of her life, to open the pathways, to free flow the radiance of the divine, to bring forth the connection of heaven and earth, intertwined, interconnected, clear, without any blockage, distortion, or miscreation. And we hold as if we are a cosmic battery to bring the power back online, to open the pathways of light, no longer impeded, but opened clean and clear. Hold your sacred positions. As we clean the pathways of the sacred earth, her grids and our grid interconnected as one, as our grid interconnected with the upper worlds. One free flowing singularity of flowing cosmic Christ consciousness and divine Maitreya, moving, flowing with ease and grace. Ea Asha Ea, I am that I am. Ea Asha Ea, I am that I am. Ea Asha Ea, I am that I am. And we wait these few more moments. And in our spiritual eye, we can see the sacred crystalline grid section from the upper worlds into our own grid, into our own collective grid, and into the grid of our sacred Earth Mother. That this triad and trinity of interconnection, free flowing with the cosmic Christ, divine Maitreya consciousness, the sacred communion, interconnection, and integration. All for the love of the divine, for the love of God. And now, as we experience this divine grace, this divine cosmic waters that flow through us, cleaning us and clearing us, purifying us, opening up our channels and pathways, our interconnection to the greater cosmic story. We feel such peace and gratefulness that we are truly blessed beyond measure as we walk the narrow path of the divine. And now the time has come for us to return, for there is much to do. And with that, the energies begin to step down as all the celestial radiant ones begin to draw in their electromagnetic field. As we begin to draw in our electromagnetic field, slowly and surely, we know that we have been expanded, and that expansion will continue in the hours to come, especially during our dream time. Intend to remember your dream time. And as we now begin to become aware to be back into our physical, mental, and emotional bodies, we forever have this experience into those higher parts of ourselves, more accessible, more clear, more direct. On the count of 3, we will intend to be back, awake, alert, and very grounded. 1, 2, take a very deep breath in. And 3, we are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.